Have you ever compared Black legends and their daughters at the same age? Some daughters seem to be perfect copies of their mothers, in an eerie way, even sharing the same fate. Meanwhile, other mother-daughter duos have been caught in a whirlwind of power, money, and fame, with shocking truths finally coming to light. Welcome to our channel, where we dive deep into hidden stories, complex relationships, and little-known events about the most famous mother-daughter pairs in Hollywood. Get ready to uncover the untold truths behind the queens and princesses of the entertainment world. Hit subscribe now so you don't miss a single story.
Matt Howe, Dawn Jefferson, Ken Johnston, Tony Frenda, Warren Wyckoff, Chris Tice, and Johnny Whitus.
Come on, give it up! Give it up! Give it up! Give it up! It's you, ladies. Give it up! Amen.
Lauryn Hill and Selah Marley, the struggle to escape the shadow of a legendary mother. Selah Marley was born into a family where her mother, Lauryn Hill, is a legend, and her grandfather, Bob Marley, is a reggae icon. But that didn't guarantee a smooth childhood. She has revealed that growing up under her mother's strict discipline left her feeling emotionally wounded and constantly anxious. Selah even described how Lauryn Hill's harsh discipline and hours-long lectures made her feel like she had no voice. But was this simply the strict parenting of a famous mother? Or was it Lauryn Hill's way of trying to protect her daughter from the pitfalls of the entertainment industry that she had experienced herself? As she entered adulthood, Selah Marley no longer wanted to be just Lauryn Hill's daughter. She began carving out her own career in modeling, working with major brands like Chanel, Calvin Klein, and Yeezy. But despite Selah's efforts to establish herself, people still labeled her as the descendant of Lauryn Hill and Bob Marley. The pressure of coming from a famous family can sometimes be even more daunting than starting from scratch. Can Selah truly forge her own identity, or will she always remain in her mother's shadow? Beyond the invisible pressures, Selah Marley has openly spoken about the emotional wounds she carries from her childhood. She has shared that at times, her mother's strictness made her feel isolated. These revelations quickly sparked debates. Was Lauryn Hill truly an overly harsh mother? Or was Selah simply trying to break free from her mother's influence in her own way? Lauryn Hill later responded, emphasizing that she loves her children, but had to enforce discipline to keep them from falling into life's many traps. But is that really the right way to raise children? Should celebrity parents adapt their parenting styles to the modern era? Despite their past conflicts, Selah acknowledges her deep respect for Lauryn Hill and everything her mother has accomplished. She continues to search for her own path, whether in fashion, art, or music. But will the public ever recognize Selah Marley as an independent individual, or will she forever be known as Lauryn Hill's daughter? Selah Marley's story raises important questions. Are children born into fame truly fortunate, or must they fight to be seen as individuals? What do you think about Lauryn Hill's parenting style? Does strict discipline help children grow stronger, or does it leave lasting emotional scars? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the discussion on this deeply emotional story.
Together this way. This way right here. Sandy right here. Sandy together. Sandy, that gorgeous spot.
Nico Parker, The Struggle of Being Thandie. Newton's daughter. Nico Parker, daughter of veteran actress Thandie Newton, has captured attention not only for her talent, but also for her striking resemblance to her mother. From the moment she appeared in her debut film, Disney's Dumbo, comparisons to Thandie Newton became inevitable. Every article, every comment seemed to revolve around the same question: can she step out of her mother's shadow? But growing up in the spotlight of a famous mother is far from easy. As Nico began her career, she quickly realized that instead of being recognized as an individual, she was constantly being compared to her mother. People repeatedly questioned whether Nico could succeed on her own merits, or if she was simply a younger version of Thandie Newton. The pressure of coming from a well-known family has, at times, left Nico feeling exhausted and frustrated. She once shared that the endless comparisons made her feel like she had no identity of her own. Social media constantly fixated on how much she looked like her mother, to the point where many seemed to forget who she was as a person, referring to her only as a younger Thandie Newton. But is having a famous mother really a disadvantage? Or can it also be an advantage? While the comparisons have been overwhelming, Nico has also had opportunities that others could only dream of. Being Thandie Newton's daughter has undoubtedly given her easier access to Hollywood. However, this very fact has led many to question, would Nico have landed major roles if her mother weren't famous? So what has Nico Parker done to prove herself? Rather than relying solely on her family name, she has actively sought out challenging roles, such as her part in the hit series The Last of Us. She is determined to show that she can stand on her own without using Thandie Newton's name as a stepping stone. But will that be enough for the public to recognize her as an independent talent? Nico Parker's journey raises an ongoing debate. Do the children of Hollywood stars have to fight harder to earn recognition, or do they have an undeniable advantage over others? Are these comparisons unfair, or are they simply an unavoidable part of being born into fame? What are your thoughts on Nico Parker's journey? Do you think she can break free from her mother's shadow and build a name for herself? Share your opinions in the comments below.
As the years they pass us by, we stay young in each other's eyes. No matter how old we get, it's okay.
The tragedy of Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina Brown, the dazzling spotlight and the painful end. Whitney Houston, the golden voice of the music world, is an irreplaceable icon of R&B and pop music. However, beneath that glittering fame lies a life fraught with tragedy. Even more painful is the fact that her only daughter, Bobbi Kristina Brown, followed a similarly tragic path. Two women, two destinies, but both share a heart-wrenching fate. What led them, once individuals with everything, into an inescapable spiral of tragedy. Whitney Houston possessed a gifted voice that touched millions around the globe. She dominated the charts, sold millions of albums, and became the best-selling female artist of all time. Hits like I Will Always Love You and Greatest Love of All not only showcased her talent, but also catapulted her to the pinnacle of fame. Yet, with fame came immense pressure, and Whitney gradually fell into the whirlpool of dangerous temptations. Her tumultuous marriage to Bobby Brown became a turning point that changed her life. From a radiant star, Whitney found herself engulfed in substance abuse, scandals, and a long, painful descent into despair. Fans who once adored her watched in dismay as their idol's once golden voice grew shaky, losing the strength and clarity it once had. Bobbi Kristina Brown, Whitney Houston, and Bobby Brown's only daughter, grew up in the spotlight of her parents' fame. From a young age, she was accustomed to the limelight, lavish parties, and the life of a star. Tragically, she also witnessed the darker side of that glitz, her mother's bouts of exhaustion, the heated arguments between her parents, and the addictions that gradually dragged their family into a deep abyss. After the heartbreaking death of Whitney in 2012, Bobbi Kristina fell into complete despair. She lost her greatest emotional support, her beloved mother, whom she idolized. Not long after, Bobbi began engaging in negative behaviors, entering toxic relationships, and becoming trapped in the haunting grief of her loss. She seemed to walk the same path her mother had once taken, a road filled with suffering and no escape. Whitney Houston's death in a hotel bathtub in 2012 shocked the world. She was only 48, a time in life when she could still shine on stage. But even more chilling was the fact that just 3 years later, Bobbi Kristina Brown was found unresponsive in a bathtub at her home, mirroring the tragic circumstances of her mother's passing. This eerie coincidence raised questions. Was it an unchangeable fate? Or were the emotional scars and invisible pressures of fame what led both mother and daughter to such a heartbreaking end? Bobbi Kristina fell into a coma for 6 months before taking her last breath at the age of 22, a short life but filled with tragedy. Her passing left fans heartbroken, for she never had the chance to truly live her own life, never escaped the overwhelming shadow of her mother. The story of Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina Brown is not just a personal tragedy, but a cautionary tale about the dark side of fame. The spotlight can be dazzling, but behind it lurk pressures, temptations, and profound loneliness that are hard to express. Not everyone is strong enough to face these challenges, and sadly, Whitney and her daughter could not find their way out. What are your thoughts on the tragedy of Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina Brown? Is it a cruel fate or the consequence of the pressures of showbiz? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Jada Pinkett Smith and Willow Smith? Is a daughter's rebellion the result of her mother's influence? Born into one of Hollywood's most famous families, Willow Smith seemed to have it all: fame, fortune, and the backing of her superstar parents, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. But behind the glitz and glamour, she has faced deep personal struggles. Is Willow's rebellion a direct result of Jada's parenting? Or is it a silent cry for help that no one truly listened to? From a young age, Willow endured immense pressure due to her family's fame. She stepped into the entertainment industry at just 9 years old with her hit song Whip My Hair, a global sensation that turned her into a sought-after child star. But behind the spotlight lay hidden turmoil. Willow has openly admitted that rising to fame too quickly left her feeling lost and suffocated, to the point where she even considered ending her life. The question remains, if not for her mother's influence, would she have faced such severe emotional distress? Jada Pinkett Smith has always been known as a strong-willed mother who challenges traditional parenting norms. She raised her children with what many consider an ultra-liberal approach. No restrictions, no forced expectations, and full autonomy over their own lives. But is this truly an ideal way to raise a child? Even Willow has acknowledged that having no boundaries left her feeling out of control. She was exposed to situations no child should ever face, all in an attempt to prove she was worthy of carrying the Smith name. Many believe Jada unintentionally molded Willow into a younger version of herself, strong, independent, yet deeply wounded. In an interview, Willow admitted that she felt pressured to embody the same feminist ideals as her mother, yet she also resisted being confined to a specific identity. Looking back, did Willow ever truly have a choice in shaping her life? Or was she simply the product of a childhood shaped by invisible expectations? Additionally, some argue that Jada Pinkett Smith has turned her daughter's life into public discourse. On Red Table Talk, where she and her mother frequently discuss personal and controversial topics, did these conversations genuinely help Willow heal? Or were they merely a platform for Jada to voice her own views, regardless of how they affected her daughter? Many critics believe that rather than providing closure, these discussions have only pushed Willow further into the relentless scrutiny of the media. Today, Willow Smith has established herself as a multifaceted artist, no longer just the child overshadowed by her family's legacy. But the question remains, would she have achieved success without being born into the Smith dynasty? Or would she have led a quieter, less pressured life, one without the constant battle for self-identity? What do you think of Jada Pinkett Smith's parenting style? Is Willow Smith's rebellion a sign of true freedom, or is it the consequence of a distorted childhood? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Amazing is that?
I was like a tour pop. Is that good?
Right over, please. Looking to the left. Ladies on the left over here. Right center, guys.
Look over there, Angel.
Everybody this way.
We just went shopping really quick and then picked it out. And then, yeah, we all just got ready together.
How excited Sugar Factory grand opening?
I am particularly excited because now I have my bribe right here.
Phoenix Brown, growing up amid Mel B's marital turmoil, scarred or stronger. Mel B, once synonymous with the explosive success of the Spice Girls, has led a personal life filled with turmoil. Behind the dazzling stage lights, she endured an abusive marriage with Stephen Belafonte, a tragedy that not only affected her but also left deep emotional scars on her daughter, Phoenix Brown. But can Phoenix overcome her past and carve out her own identity? Phoenix grew up in a household overshadowed by tension. She often witnessed heated arguments and domestic violence between her mother and stepfather. In an interview, she revealed that she saw Mel B being physically abused with her own eyes, memories that haunted her for years. Can a child truly grow up unaffected in such an environment? Despite Mel B publicly accusing her ex-husband of abuse multiple times, not everyone believed her. Some dismissed it as a publicity stunt designed to draw media attention. This placed Phoenix in an incredibly difficult position. She was both a witness to her mother's suffering and a target of public skepticism. How does a child cope when her family's deepest wounds become tabloid fodder? Despite growing up surrounded by pain, Phoenix refused to let her past define her. She has worked hard to build an independent image, exploring different fields, from modeling to acting. Yet, no matter how much she strives, the name Mel B continues to follow her. Does the public truly recognize Phoenix as an individual, or is she forever labeled Mel B's daughter? Through it all, Phoenix has never turned her back on her mother. She has expressed that Mel B taught her how to stand up and fight. But is that a source of strength, or is it simply a way for Phoenix to mask her own emotional scars? Many assume that being born into a famous family is a privilege. But Phoenix Brown's story sheds light on a different reality, one where fame is not a blessing, but a burden. What do you think? Can Phoenix break free from the shadows of her past, or will the scars of her childhood always be a part of her? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
He's got a lot of pictures.
He's got a lot. I feel he's going to get a lot more tonight. A lot more.
A lot more.
So just
Angela,
leave it be.
you look stunning. Tell me about this gown.
This is my beautiful, wonderful friend Jeremy Scott from Moschino. Yeah, he did me right.
And you're doing him right, too. Let's
Yes.
be very clear.
Angela Bassett and Bronwyn Gold. A Journey to Identity. Under the shadow of a legendary mother, Bronwyn Gold isn't just the daughter of a legendary actress. She grew up in the glitzy world of Hollywood, where the spotlight was always on her. But for Bronwyn, that attention has been both a source of pride and a heavy burden. Every step she takes is measured against her mother, an iconic woman who has carved her name into cinematic history with powerful performances. Can Bronwyn establish her own identity? Or will she forever be known as Angela Bassett's daughter? Beyond living in her mother's shadow, Bronwyn faces constant pressure from the public. People expect her to follow in Angela's footsteps as an actress, or, at the very least, achieve success on the same level. But what if she chooses a different path? Will the world truly support her, or is their interest solely in whether she can live up to her mother's legacy? Although Angela Bassett has always portrayed the image of a loving and supportive mother, their relationship hasn't always been smooth. Bronwyn has spoken about times when she felt lost, when the world only saw Angela and no one cared about how she felt. Their conversations have ranged from tense disagreements to heartbreaking silence. But through it all, Angela has always tried to help her daughter understand that she can be whoever she wants to be. Even with her determination to forge her own path, Bronwyn still battles doubts, both from the public and from within herself. Should she step into the entertainment industry or pursue a completely different passion? She constantly has to prove that she is more than just Angela Bassett's daughter, that she is an individual with her own talent and strength. Do you think being born into fame is a privilege, or does it come with invisible limitations? Can Bronwyn break free from her mother's towering legacy and succeed on her own terms? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss more fascinating stories.
Olympia's tennis skills should come as no surprise since her mom is one of the most decorated tennis players of all time. An event one year.
Would your fashionista niece approve of this gorgeous look? Because this is a moment.
Who wears dresses every day, all day,
Oh my
and
God.
insists on heels.
Oh my God.
So she'll be here next year.
I was just saying, so she'll be here next year.
Next year she'll probably be chair.
Serena Williams and Alexis Olympia, a legend, shaping her daughter's future. Serena Williams isn't just one of the greatest athletes of all time. She's also a mother striving for perfection in raising her daughter, Alexis Olympia Ohanian Jr. But when you're the child of a legend, is that truly a blessing, or does it come with overwhelming pressure? Is Olympia enjoying a carefree childhood, or has she already been placed on a path she may not yet be ready to walk? From a young age, Olympia has been in the public eye. Photos of her training with her mother on the tennis court quickly went viral on social media. This sparked the question, is Olympia destined to inherit Serena's legacy, or is she simply being swept into the pressures of fame before she even understands what she wants? Despite Serena Williams' deep love and protective nature toward her daughter, she cannot shield her from the public's expectations. Serena has openly spoken about the immense pressure she endured as a child, years of intense training under her father, Richard Williams. But now, is Serena unintentionally repeating that path with Olympia? Or does she genuinely want her daughter to have the freedom to choose her own journey? The relationship between Serena and Olympia isn't just about mother and daughter. It's a delicate balance between legacy and personal freedom. Olympia is still too young to grasp the greatness of her mother's achievements, but will she grow up without feeling burdened by that immense shadow? Will she truly have the chance to pursue her own passions, or will she inevitably be steered toward the same path as her mother? The story of Serena and Olympia raises an important question. Do children born into fame truly have the freedom to choose their own lives? Do you think Olympia will follow in Serena Williams' footsteps, or will she carve out a completely different path? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss more fascinating stories.
Good evening. Our father passed away 2 weeks ago today. He was really excited to attend tonight, and a lot of his family are here. There's four of the 7 of us are here, and our beautiful family in the audience. And he has so many friends in this room.
Peggy Lipton and Rashida Jones, when a mother's spotlight becomes a daughter's burden. Rashida Jones, a talented actress, screenwriter, and director, was born into a prestigious family. Her mother, Peggy Lipton, was a Hollywood icon, known for her gentle beauty and remarkable career since the 1960s. Her father, Quincy Jones, is a legendary music producer. But growing up in the shadow of these two giants, did Rashida ever truly get to be herself? Or has she had to constantly fight to escape the label of being just the daughter of... From an early age, Rashida faced enormous public expectations. As a biracial woman, white from her mother's side and black from her father's, she often felt out of place. In an interview, she admitted, "I wasn't black enough for one group, and I wasn't white enough for the other." This struggle pushed her to seek her own identity rather than conform to any predefined mold. Unlike her mother, who became famous for her elegant looks and soft-spoken roles, Rashida chose a more intellectual path. She attended Harvard University, studying philosophy instead of diving straight into the entertainment industry. Yet even when she entered Hollywood, the comparisons to her mother never stopped. The public constantly questioned, can Rashida reach the same level of success as Peggy Lipton? Despite her exceptional talent in acting and screenwriting, Skepticism about her abilities followed her throughout her career. Was the relationship between Peggy Lipton and Rashida Jones always perfect? For a famous mother, watching her daughter step into Hollywood's glamorous yet treacherous world was surely a challenge. While Peggy supported Rashida's career, she also set high expectations. This, at times, became a source of pressure. Rashida has spoken about her desire to step out of her mother's shadow and be recognized for her own merit, not just her family name. In the end, Rashida Jones has proven that she is more than just the daughter of Peggy Lipton and Quincy Jones. She has built a successful career with standout roles in The Office and Parks and Recreation, and has made her mark as a talented screenwriter with notable projects. However, the question remains, if she weren't the child of two icons, would she have reached the same level of success? Or would she have been another talented artist lost in the cutthroat entertainment industry? What do you think about Rashida Jones's career? Is she still living in her family's shadow, or has she carved out her own path? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on the most fascinating Hollywood stories.
Private TikTok account. So we do lots of TikToks together, and she puts them in drafts. Yes. She's not allowed to post them, but we have lots of TikToks. I might post one soon.
Wonder if Kim regrets allowing her oldest to have a public...
It's just, there's no way to describe it, but it's a lot.
Well, we can definitely describe the West.
Kim Kardashian and North West. Is fame a gift or a curse? North West has never had a normal childhood. While other kids get to play freely, she has had to grow up under flashing lights, paparazzi lenses, and the scrutiny of the entire world. As the eldest daughter of Kim Kardashian, one of the most powerful women in the entertainment industry, North never had a choice in whether she wanted to be famous. She was born into the spotlight. But is that a blessing, or is it an invisible weight pressing down on a child's soul? Kim Kardashian has always said she wants to protect her daughter from the harsh realities of fame. Yet the irony is that she is the one who introduced North to this world. From television appearances and social media to high-profile fashion shows, North has been placed under public scrutiny from an early age. Is she truly enjoying this life, or is she simply living out the path her mother has already paved for her? The public doesn't always side with Kim. Many believe she is using her daughter to maintain her own relevance, making North an extension of the Kardashian brand. Others argue that Kim is simply giving her child access to a life of luxury and privilege that most people can only dream of. So, is Kim a protective mother, or is she unintentionally pulling her daughter into an inescapable cycle of fame? Despite growing up in wealth and influence, North is still just a child. Fame may bring glamour, but it also comes with overwhelming pressure. She faces online criticism, invasions of privacy, and impossible expectations from society. No one truly knows whether North wants to follow in her mother's footsteps, or if she's merely trying to meet the expectations set by her family. What do you think about children being born into fame? Is Kim Kardashian truly protecting North, or is she unknowingly placing her daughter in a high-pressure spotlight? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss more controversial stories.